Welcome back, everyone. J Bone, and to my side here, we got front row Bill. We're total, nonstop, impact talk for impact fans right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide, baby. There might even be a wild Oreo jumping in and out of here throughout the show tonight. Bill, how you doing?
Doing good, J-Bone. Doing good. It's a Thursday. It's Impact on Access TV or the Ultimate Insiders, whichever you prefer. And there's a Twitch. That's right, caveman. There's a Twitch. There's a Twitch. There's a super sticker. Thank you, Courtney. And you know who thanks you. Only one man, the coach.
Impact Wrestling!
And also, thank you, Eric, for the $2.
Oh, yes. So he was there even before. Let's get Eric Punk Trace. Malachi Trace now.
Malachi. He changes his name at least once a week, yes.
Impact Wrestling!
Just wanted to say hello to the TNI crew and fam. Too sweet, brother.
Too sweet. And speaking of TNI fam, long overdue from the hills, we'll call it, up north.
The hills. But far away.
Right after the coach, we get Lord Truckington. How are you?
I'm excellent, boys. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Great, man. Good to see you, man. I heard you were going to join tonight. I wasn't sure when, but thank you.
Right now. I just finished on the YouTube. Watched the main event, so I figured, all right, I'm ready to talk about some wrestling here. You've got a cat. I've got a cat.
There you go. Bill, you need a cat.
I have no cat. No cat.
You need at least a fluffy toy fake one or something.
Is that Oreo?
Well,
it's Oreo.
Hey, Oreo.
We'll get into it in the news, but I have a Dilo.
Oh, Dilo. Yeah, you know
what? Forgotten.
Well, it's been a little quiet on the Impact news front. We don't have media. We don't have media scrums. We don't have what's the word that they've been using all week. We don't have melees. We don't have melees. You know what? Yeah, let's play the jingle, Bill, and we'll talk about a little bit of news. It's not as exciting as some of the other companies that are going on right now, but we'll give you something. I don't know.
Give a little J-Bone's news.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, after a week hiatus, the return of J-Bone's news. Not a fake media scrum, it's really a press conference.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
Go into business for yourself, Jay. Take it away.
And I promise I won't bite anyone either.
Oh, but hold on first. Rayline with the bits on the Twitch. We thank you, Rayline.
Thank you.
And as you know, it's tradition. The coach thanks you.
Impact Wrestling!
Yes, thank you, Coach. I do want to let you know before we jump into this. Well, I guess you could say it's subscriber news. But on the Twitch front, which, we have some people watching on Twitch. I don't know how many, but we have a few.
Team Twitch.
It's September.
Ooh.
It's September right now. And the more you sub for you can like sub for a month. That's usually what most people do. But the more you sub, the more you save. You can save from 20 up to 30%. Yeah. 30%. Oreo's excited too.
That's a lot, Oreo. That's good savings. That's a good deal.
Oreo is she's so excited. She's going to start her own Twitch and go sub crazy.
She'll be an affiliate in no time.
She will. So she'll just, I don't know what the hell she's going to do. Just run around rooms and meow. And
you know what, J-Bone, you say that may be one of the top videos on Twitch. Crazier things have happened.
There's people that have pets and they get a ridiculous amount of chats and gifts.
Hold on. Speaking of
stuff.
Bell's Boy with a $10 super sticker for the TNI crew who don't throw chairs at each other or bite one another unless you ask nicely, or dress in devil masks or go into business for themselves. Hashtag RipQE2.
Oh God.
Lol.
We thank you, Bell's Boy. And hold on for that big one right there.
Impact Wrestling!
We love the. I better not say that.
And a special thanks for me, Bell's Boy. We appreciate it.
Look at that.
All the good work there, J Bones.
It's a plastic.
More news, please. Thank you.
Straight from up north there, hey. All right, so yeah, let's September. The more you sub, the more you save, and you get little things like special emotes you can use in the chat and such. So we do try to keep the Twitch alive. We have a few
and
out there,
emotes you can only get there, nowhere else.
Right.
I don't know whether to say congratulations or I'm sorry.
That's to each their own. All right. So,
we should point out that obviously, just for Bell's Boy's comment, it's also news, but obviously, rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II, with the hashtag for those.
That took me a second. I didn't think the Queen would be a hashtag, but yeah, apparently it is. Yes. Yeah, 96 years old. We didn't, we thought she was going to live forever. So, and Oreo has left the building. All right. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the royal family.
Yes, thank you, Slowpoke.
Thank you, Slowpoke, for the bits. Much love, brother.
Impact Wrestling!
All right, settle down, Coach. Jesus.
You get a lot of use out of that one, eh, boys?
Yeah, we're gonna start paying.
Oh wait, hold on. And there's some nice there's some emotes for you.
There you go. Yep, that's the free ones and the sub ones. So some new ones in I don't know more PCO. I think there's a speedball in there too.
Ooh.
All right, enough about Twitch. So yeah, one of the things that hit this week or this over the course of the last week is D'Lo Brown no longer with Impact Wrestling. Now, I have not heard any details as to why or if there's he left here to go to. Have you heard any details as far as is there any story behind it or? Hi, D'Lo.
No.
D'Lo doesn't look well there. He's just.
He's not down anymore. He's not down.
He's not down with Impact Wrestling.
Not down with talent management.
Well, people come, people go. We don't know what's up with him.
He always he'll be back. He'll be back. He tends to be here for a few years, go away, come back again. So who knows? Could be. Remember, they do have this schedule now. They're on the road a lot. I don't know if that had an effect. But could be anything.
And he could be, in a point in life where he doesn't want to travel. Who knows? Maybe he just wants to answer the phones at the office or something. Who knows?
Maybe. I know it's tough for me to travel, so I can feel it if that's the issue.
You're right. You totally identify with that. So he hasn't been on TV. He was filling in on commentary for a while, and that was fun. But I think what they got now is probably one of the best teams in years, honestly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see him resurface, at least being hanging around, because I believe he's Vegas based, and obviously they have Vegas tapings coming up in October, the Sin City Showdown, which goes on sale tomorrow. So I have a feeling he'll at least be around there. I don't see why not. I can't imagine there's like any ill will or bad terms, so I'm sure the door's always open.
I'd be shocked if there was, but yeah, Vegas is getting a lot of stuff. They're even getting a New Japan show soon too. So Vegas is
always a good city to have events in, and Impact has a good history in Vegas, doing well with that. Obviously, they had Bound for Glory, they had No Surrender? Was it No Surrender? No. But they had some like Impact Plus specials, so TV I think will still do fine. It's Vegas. People always want things to do in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And it's a good travel trip.
Yeah, they've got a great airport. They've got some good local indies going on already. It's a good
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah.
I mean, if you can start an NHL team from nothing and have it be a top performer, yeah, anybody can make money in Vegas.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gary Rossetti here says he's doing something with United Wrestling Network, I heard. I don't know what that is, but
Really? UWN. That's David Marquez, I think.
I that does sound familiar. Like that was when NWA was trying to be relevant for a while.
Oh,
they were connected with
them.
To
the main event of one of their pay-per-views, so
okay.
Choice is right.
So who knows? Yeah, I mean, if we hear anything definite, we'll let you know. Because I'd be very curious to see what he's doing next.
Well, Jay, if I can jump in here, since we were just talking Vegas, a little news coming out, a little hint about a future destination for Impact Wrestling. Because they put out another request for street team members, Impact Wrestling.
Oh.
The cities is all their upcoming cities they're playing. So you have Nashville, you have Las Vegas, you have Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
You have, I think Louisville as well, they put on there, which is November.
Right.
They put Atlanta on there.
Oh,
Atlanta. So we kind of knew they'd probably return there, but is that hard to kill? Maybe.
Could be. Maybe it'll be a new home of the IPWF. I'm kidding.
You never know.
Rayline says, come back to Toronto.
I agree, Rayline. Come back to Toronto so I can actually go to
rumblings, little birdies are telling me.
Oh.
Maybe. Definitely. Next year.
Don't give me hope, Bill.
Next year?
Don't give me hope.
Yeah, 2023. They should go back to Toronto.
2023. Right.
Well, that's good because my 10th year anniversary is next year. So that'll be what we do, dear. We're going to go to an Impact Wrestling show in Toronto.
She's laughing.
She's a great idea. Yeah, she's
is that a supportive, yes, I love you, dear, let's go? Or is that a...
Sure, why not? Let's go.
She's like, yeah, sure, you can take the cat.
Well, J-Bo, since unless you have something, I do want to bring up something else in the news segment here, since Bell's Boy, who gave us that very nice super sticker, put in here a question. That is also news I wanted to bring up. Can somebody tell me or make me understand why a talent like Shane Taylor, now this isn't my opinion, this is one Bell's Boy's opinion, why a talent like Shane Taylor lost to a B guy like Crazy Steve and on BTI no less, SMDH. So I'll give my opinion first on this. I think this was a tryout match for Shane Taylor. I know he did. He was like, their whatever you want to, their 3-man tag champs in Ring of Honor. I first saw him years ago in the tag team with Keith Lee. And so I know like a lot of Ring of Honor fans are probably like, well, how dare they? How dare they? But you got to remember, he's now been on the indies since Ring of Honor went belly up. for a while. He's not on the fake ROH down south.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's going strong.
Sure it is, Jay-Bone. But and honestly, I don't know how many indies he's working. I think he's working a little bit in Texas, but I don't think he's really out there on the indies doing a lot. So I think that was the right call. Crazy Steve, very underrated in ring, a lot like Diener, just because he takes losses a lot on TV, but very good in the ring. And obviously the work he's put in, like because he's so like Menagerie Steve compared to today is totally different. But no, I thought they did a good match here. I thought that was the right way. You test it out. And if you've been noticing, Decay as a tag team kind of split from Rosemary has actually been on a little bit of a roll lately. So to have him go down in a match like that against what they would consider a tryout and unknown. But hey, we saw the same thing. Masha lost during the Impact Plus special, the Knockouts Knockdown, and then had an undefeated streak. It's not acknowledged. This BTI match, if they liked what they saw, they bring them back. They debut them on TV in a month or two. Guess what? You'll never remember this BTI result. So I think this is just them getting used to it and having Steve be kind of the gateway to get in.
It's not. Look, he's not under contract. You hate to say it, like a lot of people know how good he is. And Steve is not a beacon. No, Steve is very talented. And considering his handicap, even makes him more special. Okay? I don't know how he does what he does, but he does do it. He has great matches, X Division or tag or whatever. Steve is great. Shane Taylor, he's not under contract. That's why he lost. Sometimes you'll see enhancement talents win depending on the situation. Like several months ago, that 7-footer, I'm using my quote fingers, Jack Talos.
Yeah.
Oreo loves Jack Talos, by the way. She is also subbed to his YouTube channel, and he cracks a lot of tall guy jokes. In that case, he beat one of your favorites, Bill, BSK. So in a case like that, you're like, oh wow, he won. So I think a lot of people are shaking their head. Why did Shane Taylor come in and lose? Well, he's not under contract. It could have been a testing of the waters.
They didn't want to just put him against another local talent and have him go. Remember, once again, BTI, even though it's not on TV anymore, it's just on the socials. This is a storyline show still, BTI. Like they are telling stories on BTI on a week-to-week basis that continue. So you don't want it just to be lost.
Yeah.
If they had Explosion, maybe they handled this a little bit differently, but they don't.
So I think there's still a great chance for him to come back on a regular basis. We just have to be patient, because if they do bring him in, I think it's going to be part of something special. He'll be part of a crew, or they'll make vignettes for it, something like that. They'll make a point of, hey, we're bringing in this guy. Keep an eye out, like they've done for others. You brought up Decay. I want to talk about the other half of that tag team, Taurus.
Yes.
He is getting, I don't know if you were going to mention this.
I
saw this yesterday or the day before. Bice fought. Oh my God. Words.
Boss fight.
Words suck. Boss Fight. There you go. Is coming out with their next line of luchadors. I'm trying to remember here. There's Vampiro. There's Pero. He passed away. He passed away, was it 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
A handful of years ago in the ring, sadly.
Yeah, maybe a little longer that, but yeah, around that.
Yeah. I forget. Ultimate Dragon and Taurus. So Taurus is getting his first action figure through Boss Fight, and their last series was what, Pentagon, Phoenix, Taya, and Hoovy. So, and they're on my list to get. I do like those. They're not as good looking. Like, they've got ultimates that look unbelievable, but these figures that are coming out they're not ultimates, but I think they're going to be good looking. Truck, have you seen these?
No.
Check out the Boss Fight. Now, I know you're a big action figure collector, right?
Sure. Go with that, Jay.
Yeah. Everyone here is right.
I love action figures. I love toys. I still have all my old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got the real Ghostbusters.
Whoa.
Transformers.
There you go. See, Oreo loves them too. Yeah. But yeah, go to Boss Fight Studio. They just talked about it on their socials in the last day or two or whatever. The pre-order is up. I think they're selling them for like $20, a little over $20. So
nice.
But yeah, Taurus is
and there is progress in the action figure news. I believe the major action figs with Cardona and Myers put out that the Deonna figure sculpt, like the first ones out. So they're getting there. They're the Impact line that's going to be coming out next year.
Oh, so they're going to be showing off the first.
Yeah, like they showed off like a very, very primitive sculpt. That's kind of like it's the process. So it's on its way for all you action fig.
There's a word for it. I can't think of what it's
called. Mold. The mold.
Mold. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Not black mold. Black mold's bad.
No, we don't want black mold. No. Jeez. Anything else on the news front? I think that's.
Well, we do have a little update regarding one of our favorites, former guest on the show. You might remember this.
You got hair on your booty cheeks.
Oh. Still, why is that on there? I'm kidding.
Willie Mack will be making an appearance at MLW's next.
His debut. They're pitching his
debut.
It's not an appearance. It's not a one-off. It's a thing.
So he's been showing up in New Japan Strong, but we'll see if this is a one-off or if it's going to be more. They're saying debut, so you would think more than once, but good luck to Willie.
Yeah. That's a guy that could fit in like anywhere and do anything. The guy's very talented. I wish he was still in Impact, but whatever. It is what it is. I did hear about a free agent, formerly of MLW, Danny Limelight.
Yeah, he's so LAX. So I guess no more LAX in there, or are they just gonna keep reforming it in MLW?
So yeah, who knows? Who knows where he's going to show up? So, I was going to talk about the movie The Retaliators.
Oh yes.
And I'm not sure how this came about, but Impact Wrestling put out a thing where Rosemary is promoting the upcoming movie The Retaliators. It's a horror movie. And it's so I don't know if it's going to be like an upcoming sponsor for a while, or I'm kind of a little surprised there wasn't like on the show tonight as a sponsor. But yeah, Rosemary's she's talking all about the movie, and then there was like exclusive clips. So go to Impact Wrestling's socials and you'll see Rosemary in the little promo clip with the Retaliators. She's not in the movie or anything, but the movie looks amazing. It's actually starring a bunch of current rock stars. Soundtrack I hear is amazing. I've heard
sounds like it's right up Access TV's alley for their demos. So yeah, the producers of that movie and their marketing need to,
We came here for a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah.
Advertising rates, I'm sure, are a good deal.
Oreo's very excited for this movie too, aren't you, Oreo? Yes. All right. Anything else?
Nah, we'll end it with a happy birthday to TNA Impact legend Raven.
Oh, Raven. What about Raven? We love Raven.
Happy birthday.
Spring Chicken.
Spring Chicken.
Spring Chicken. He's going to be making a comeback very soon.
He still should have beat Jared
He's
early.
in his mind, he probably did, and ours as well, because we know better, right? So
That's the news. In less than 30 minutes, J-Bone, we can
That's
start the
right.
review.
I think we can. Unless anybody else has any other business to discuss.
Is there business?
My cat is scary.
Does the cat have business?
Oh,
We have a
she's-
sponsorship for cats?
Apparently,
Who booked this?
we'll find one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. She's just excited to be just running in and out of the camera. Yeah, that's it. Let's talk about the show. So yeah, one match, and I even talked about this on the live reaction. I said, if we do any kind of like post review for the Patreon, I would like to watch the Crazy Steve Shane Taylor match. We'll see how I'm feeling in the next 3 hours after the. Oh, this is not going 3 hours. I promise. Truck, we're gonna keep you up till 3 a.m. No.
I got another 5 minutes. So
Yeah, what? This guy gets paid by the minute.
I actually do.
Do we owe you or something? Damn.
See, Arm and
No,
Ears could throw it. I have to throw this up there since this is a throwback. Armin saying he watched all the weekly pay-per-views via the infamous Black Box. The first 3-hour pay-per-view I purchased was when Raven won the world title in a King of the Mountain match, if I remember right. But
That's a great one.
that might be dating some of the youngsters. Like I'm not looking at you, Critical Sting. I'm looking at you. What a black box is, but that was also called a hot box back in the day.
Hot box.
Those illegal boxes for pay-per-views became in vogue during the Mike Tyson boxing era, pretty much.
Thanks. Good evening, Danger Zone. The Danger Zone. I love that name. That's great. That is the franchise, I believe.
And then Zach, the town has returned. Welcome back, Truck.
Yeah, thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. I'll drop by some more, maybe. All this positive reinforcement's going to go straight to my head.
Yes. Mark will get pissed if you get more than him, though. Because that's a thing now. No, I'm kidding. All right, so yeah, definitely looking forward to that BTI match. I know, and that was one thing that we did not see on the show tonight. Usually they show like a
there was no recap. And honestly, I know I've been a little critical since they're not starting it early, and then you can't watch it if you're watching on cable because the match would overlap. So maybe they took that out for at least the people watching cable can watch it afterwards. After they watch TNI, of course.
Because why else would you watch it?
Why else?
Right.
Oh, New Japan, obviously.
We'll say, like, for those of you watching New Japan on Access right now and watching us on replay, and our audio listeners, who we embrace fully.
Yes.
Don't get too close, Jabo.
No. All right.
Not without consent, at least.
Not without consent.
Yes.
No, we don't want any melees starting, do we?
Melees.
Those melees. Gotta love it. All right, so we're starting out hot here. We got a debut right off the bat, getting things going here. The Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Ace Austin versus New Japan Strong's new tag team champions, the first ever Aussie Open, Fletcher and Davis. What did you guys think of the debut of Aussie Open? And I also at the same time want to say, have you seen them wrestle before in either New Japan or AEW or wherever?
I did see them in New Japan. They did work the Philly tapings of New Japan.
Oh, there you
I don't know, a while back, maybe 6 months ago or so.
Months ago.
And they were impressive. I know the one guy in that team, very young. I think he's very young.
23. You're talking about Kyle.
Yeah.
So very talented, like big guys. So obviously with a lot of the guys in New Japan Strong, you can see it. Like they may not be polished all the way, but you can see the potential. There's reasons there's there. We'll talk about somebody that debuted on the show later as well. You can see a lot of potential in these wrestlers. They may not be a finished product. They might not be what you want to call fully TV ready, but they definitely, you can see the skill level and a very high level of potential. Aussie Open, I'm sure they're going to be making a huge name for themselves over the next few years. So that they now had their impact by fire, going against, what do we want to call it? Bullet Club 2.0, of their Impact Bullet Club.
I think it's a little low. I think they're like 7.8.
Probably like 48.6.
Whatever was after NWO Wolfpack, we're like 4 steps after that.
Oh,
yeah, we're a little to the side.
That's a real shot at guys like Bay and Ace Austin.
Which one's Jay?
Man, I mean, you're talking about possible world champs here. How can you say that about these guys from the Bulls?
That's the story of my life. No respect. I don't get no respect at all.
But anyways, all right. So, Truck, any comments on Aussie Open?
My first time seeing them, I liked them. They were fast. They were impactful. Obviously, time ever seeing them, I'm surprised that they won. But I guess they also came up with belts, so probably no other promotion is going to let their tag champs lose on somebody else's TV, and that's completely reasonable. That's completely understandable. On Bay and Ace's side, they're a very logical tag team. It was they worked really well together. You could tell they spent a lot of time together.
Oh yeah. It's seeing Bay and Ace as a tag team, with an affiliation of the Bullet Club or not, is borderline dream team for Impact Wrestling. I think
it's been a bangorama.
I think being part of the Bullet Club for them is going to be a great thing for them. And I think it's going to open a lot of doors and create a lot of opportunities for them that they're going to be able to take really good advantage of, because they are such colorful personalities. They're not just good in the ring; they're very confident talkers, and I think that's probably the more important piece. If you're going to be in the Bullet Club and get full value out of it, you got to be comfortable running your mouth, and both of them are.
Oh, sure, yeah. You got to have a chip on your shoulder.
Yes,
a confidence level. Some would say cocky. But these guys definitely, I don't know how long they're going to have the affiliation with the Bullet Club, but I'm enjoying it while I can.
But nobody ever actually loses it, though. That's the thing, right? Once you're in it, you're there forever.
Oh, for life.
As they say.
And speaking of, I think there might be at least one Aussie in the chat right now.
Uh-oh.
Is that Australian Kyle? I think maybe in the chat, but let us know if you're in the chat or if you're commenting later. where you're from. Let us know where you're from in the chat, and what would you think? Like, if you are from Australia and you want to see, just like we always talk about the UK and wanted to see more UK talent, how about wanting to see more of these international talents in Impact Wrestling? A lot of good Canadians, right, Chuck? A lot of good Canadians, and Americans, but we need some others. We have some luchadors, so we have some
absolutely.
from Mexico, but we need to become a world company again.
Some more international flavor, if you will. I've seen Aussie Open in clips on AEW. I believe it was Will Ospreay.
Wait, hold
not
on.
like Will Ospreay. Does not like him.
I thought it was just saying yes to Brian Fields' super sticker.
Oh,
thank you, Brian, as always. And you know what you get. You get a little bit of a certain coach.
Impact Wrestling!
No, you did it right the first time. If the 99 cents is great, but if it's a smaller one, you just get like a syllable. If it's $10, you get the whole clip.
You get the full thing. We'll start doing it.
Well, what's funny is...
Oh, yes, it is. What timing? It is Aussie Kyle.
Great.
Why are you awake, Kyle?
What's
I'm
funny...
awake and I'm questioning it. Why are you awake?
The sticker that Brian sent is a banana peel. So if you do just the portion of the coach, it's like he was screaming and slipped at the same time. So very appropriate.
You got a little bit of everything. We're here to entertain, J-Bone.
Yeah, just be careful how you say that, you know. But I'm not going to pull a Chelsea Green here and raise my shirt up here.
This ain't GCW. This is it.
I missed that episode. I gotta go back.
Oh, just search it on the Twitter box. You'll find it. It's I'll just call it entertaining.
Did you see last week's episode, Truck?
No, I haven't. I gotta go back and rewatch that one because that's the one we're on and over.
Well, definitely. Right? You don't. Yeah. I recommend the whole show, obviously, but there's at least one segment you need to watch.
Hardcore Country!
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Okay.
I even had people that don't normally watch messaging me and be like, wait, here, I might even give you a quote from somebody. Let's see.
Give me a
name. Will be anonymous.
Yes.
Anonymous.
We don't want to.
Meanwhile, what about Mickie James' outfit last week on Impact? Did she actually say anything? My eyes were occupied elsewhere.
And that was me. I got in a lot of trouble too when
There were a lot of J-Bone type responses to that.
Yeah.
But she also cut a very good promo.
She did.
That nobody remembers, apparently. But they remember she was on the show, and that's all that matters.
It was emotional.
She made an impact.
Well, yeah, there's that. There's still is, apparently. But anyways, back to the Bullet Club and Aussie Open. Great match, a lot of fun. If you have a chance to watch Aussie Open's match with Will Ospreay versus the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks from a few weeks ago. Yes, I know. The names we shall not speak of because they're suspended and there was a melee and everything. I'm just speaking of a match that was very good.
Generation Me.
And former Impact Wrestling World Champion Kenny Omega. Is that better? Is that
there
better?
You go. You got it right, J-Bone.
Should always lead with that, yeah.
All right. So Aussie Open with the win here.
Big win.
Yes, big win. A lot of controversial wins here tonight. Honor No More in the back then. Talking about now, this is funny. I've seen storylines like this before, and I might have missed something last week. But in fact, I know I missed about half the show. I have to go watch the main event. It was Masha versus Deonna, right?
Yes. Main event. Yep.
So there's this thing where Eddie Edwards is trying to, how do I say this, lure or seduce Josh Alexander to Honor No More. I'm having too much fun with this. So, we wink, wink, snicker, snicker. Is it going to happen? No. But
anything could happen. Anything
can happen.
Anything can happen.
I'll tell you the joke later, what I said during the live reaction. But they're talking about how Honor No More is on a roll. They're going to get Josh next. They got the tag belts on Taven and Bennett. Kenny King wants another shot at the X Division title. So there's all these. Oh, just so right. And so it's a lot of hype, a lot of positivity in the Honor No More camp right now. Gia Miller. Then
not everybody was there from Honor No More.
No, and we'll get to that. Yeah. There's a few people missing. You could say that Vincent and
a French Canadian Frankenstein.
Right. They're on their own little excursion right now. Trying to get PCO's head in the right place, or so to speak. Gia Miller backstage with the Good Brothers, talking about how they are former world champs, kind of bummed out about it.
I love that. We're going to interrupt you, Jay. I love that. I love hearing former world tag champs. Yes, Carl.
Former world champs.
Truck returned just to talk about this segment.
Not a fan of the Good Brothers.
Still, then, now, and forever. Some things are really
We should trademark that. Then, now, forever. It sounds good.
Then, now, and forever.
It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It's not a bad one. I'll look into it.
It rolls off the tongue like.
It smells like beer, sweat, self tanner, and baby oil, brother.
It especially rolls off the tongue when John Cena says it in the cold opening of your show. But anyways, I don't think we can use that. Yeah, I know. Anyways,
now I know this is a topic that's come up, and I think I like the Good Brothers. I'm a fan. I think they bring a lot to the table. Obviously, we know their future may be not in Impact Wrestling as of right now.
What?
Yes, I know that's the rumor, but
what?
I gotta say, in this promo, and I don't know if it was just this one or not, Big LG always bringing it. Machine Gun looked a little disinterested in this one.
Really?
A little disinterested.
Bill.
Are you saying
he might not be the Machine Gun? He might be the mailman for this promo. Because he mailed it in.
No. I think so.
Really? What a break from type for him. Mailing it in. Jeez. He is.
I know he might have a reputation, but
such a getter, Bill.
Because I usually give he's joking around stuff thing, but he really wasn't doing that. So since he wasn't doing that, it didn't hit with me this one.
For me, it's always been a coin toss which version of him shows up. The guy who really wants to go and steal the show, or the guy who's just like, I'm here. Let's do this.
Pay me.
Yeah, pay me. Yeah. Doc is, of the two, Doc, for me, is always the more reliable performer.
Yeah, and he seemed like usual Doc here. So I didn't want to put them together. It just seemed like Carl, and maybe, who knows, maybe it was just off timing when he did it, but it it didn't resonate this one.
2 weeks ago, Carl and Bennett had a match. I think this was 2 weeks ago, right? That was a great match, and that
fantastic.
About Carl. And then, like you said, tonight he's just kind of there. I'm like, come on, man, pick a speed. You're making six figures here. At least try.
Yeah, this was first, maybe almost second gear, but it didn't get beyond that.
Yeah.
I had to watch it back. Yeah, I know he's been guilty of that before. I think it also depends on what's happening in his private life. It's probably affecting that. If he's not getting any booty, he probably, probably needs a little
You're
kick in
a
the
grown
pants.
man, Carl.
But especially when you get the Motor City Machine Guns popping in the picture here, J-Bone.
Oh, I'm very excited. And I was absolutely shocked. They said in the 2.5 years that the Good Brothers have been in Impact Wrestling, they've never faced the Motor City Machine Guns.
Not in a tag match.
Not in a two-on-two. And I was like, huh. So, and so
Well,
there's,
Alex was gone for most of the pandemic, so,
This is true. This is true. Yeah, we had people like James Storm tagging with Chris Sabin and others. But I think Swinger got in there too at some point. Not sure. That's a little fuzzy. It's all the pizzles. But yeah, so next week we're getting Good Brothers versus Motor City Machine Guns, which
that should be
is
excellent.
Yeah, it's a Bound for Glory. I'm going to call it a dream match, okay? But we're getting it next week. So
On Access TV.
On Access TV, or for your YouTube insiders.
I love this match!
Larry D looks so scared in that picture. Like, what the hell? What the hell, Saban? So, yes, really looking forward to that next week. Now, maybe you guys can kind of fill in the blank on this because I really don't know much about this young, maybe possible future knockout. We had Mickie James versus Raychell Rose.
Yes.
Which was, so we're on this journey now where if Mickie
The
James...
last rodeo, J-Bone.
Yeah. Oh, is that what she's calling it? The last rodeo? She's trying to get back to the top of the heap and go after that Knockouts title one last time. And if she loses on the way, she will leave. Okay? So it'll be interesting to see who she all faces. Hopefully it's not all indie girls. But honestly,
you got to start. You got to start at the bottom. That's kind of what they said. You got to work your way up. She doesn't want to be given anything.
Truck's like, no, you don't have to. You can just buy.
I hear what you're saying, Bill, but I disagree completely. Knocking over soup cans, no matter how long the road is, doesn't mean anything to me. And Impact is doing the exact same thing they do so consistently with different performers. They did it with Morrissey, they did it with Masha, they did it with Macklin when he showed up. They set up these soup cans, they'd have this person knock them over, and I'm supposed to care. And I was like, come on. I'm just off the top of my head, I'm going to compare it to the 7 labors that Jericho had to go through on his own to fight MJF. Yeah, I know. I'm comparing him positively against AEW. Imagine that. Every one of those was absolute slog for Jericho to get through, which meant each one of them meant something. If the last rodeo involves a bunch of people who, and no disrespect, this says more about me than them. If I don't know you and you don't get an actual entrance, I'm going to go make a snack because I know how it's going to turn out. So
she did get an entrance live, but you're right on TV. Because I know Mark is a big fan because she's local to him. She's Houston.
It's Texas.
But I kind of told him at the time, I'm like, yeah, she was there. She got an entrance live. But I'm like, Penzer didn't announce her until after Mickie James came in. So I'm like, I don't think it's making TV. You're right. Like they could go a couple ways, but I think they probably want to stretch this out. And honestly, I guess I'm being greedy because the more Mickie James, the better. If she's starting with a bunch of like near the top of the roster, maybe like 3 matches to get to a Knockouts title match, that would be over quick. I'd rather see more because I think this probably is her last, for the most part, Impact run. So if they stretch this out, like I'm hoping they honestly, by doing this, they stretch this out to in the next year. I don't want to see it end at a Bound for Glory or maybe
That's
Hard
a
to Kill.
really
I'd like this
long-
to go to Slammiversary. I want to go to
That's
Slammiversary.
Oh, that is a lot of soup cans, Bill.
Well, a
That is a
couple
lot.
soup cans.
Well, and at least
Then I can
she's
do
not-
my Steve Martin. What's the deal with all these cans? Who hates these cans?
At least she had a decent match with Raychell Rose. I was actually impressed with the Raychell Rose. She did get some offense in. I mean, they had a wrestling match. They did tell a story. And that's what Mickie James is trying to do here.
Pretty generous.
So-
man. Overly generous. Overly generous.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can say that. That's fine. But it's also great to you got to think big picture here. This is also what Impact is doing with local indies. They did it with AAW in Chicago. You know, they had Manders out there. They had Fitchett. I'm trying to think of all the names they had out there. You know, so this is what they're doing when they go to towns. They're working with the indies and they're getting the talent out there, giving them experience. It's also a bit of a, hey, we're going to see, you know, give us your best people, possible, you know, Impact stars of the future. Big picture wise, that's also what they're doing, which I think is also very generous of people like company-wise Impact Wrestling to do that. And for Mickie James doesn't have to do that. She by no means. So I see your point of view, Truck, but I'm trying to think big picture here. So to have Mickie James do that with talent and give her a chance, not just go in and finish her 1, 2, 3, you know, 5-second match. They had a decent match. It was all right. So
yeah, like some of the Masha stuff and all, like the one move finisher
Right.
over. At least it wasn't that.
It wasn't that bad, definitely.
Right.
Was it an actual competitive match? You know, I won't go that far, but I will say
Yeah.
that, you know, long term, say this does go on for a while, and what we saw tonight is basically what we get with these series, and then at the end of it, you have a title match versus Masha. Am I supposed to seriously take you as a threat to Masha if this is what the lead up to that match was?
Well, she was on the verge of retirement, so it's more like she hasn't wrestled in a while. She needs to get back in, get off the ring rust, as Larry D should. That Impact never sold ring rust. I don't know what's
No.
J Bone would own all the ring rust,
I would have
Right, J-Bone?
cases and cases of ring rust.
and she might have a little ring rust. She has to get over the ring rust.
Are you saying that Larry D's gotten to her?
Better watch out for Magnus.
Hardcore country.
Oh, that guy's. Never mind.
Winning
Main
at
event
life
Mafia
is-
forever.
Main event Mafia. Chili Christmas. Not that version.
Oh,
So yeah, Raychell Rose looked decent out there. Mickie James though gets her win. She's on this journey to get back to the top. Kenny King backstage with Scott D'Amore shooing away Mia Yim rudely, just rude. They're having a conversation and he's like, YIM OUT, you know. And but she gets him back later, which I thought was pretty entertaining. Oreo, what the hell are you doing?
Hold on, calm down, just breathe.
Stop. She's sitting there scratching.
is that what happened in the segment, J Bone?
Yeah, Mia Yim basically scratched his eyes out in the segment. So Kenny King is pissed off. He wants another shot at the X Division title. So he's like, something's missing here. Something's missing. I thought the segment was great. I love Kenny King.
Kenny King's good. Very
Yeah.
creative what he was doing with Mia Yim. He was doing all the spelling out everything. Very fun.
Yeah, just, taking her to, Phonics World or something. I don't know. So Scott D'Amore's like, no, I'm not going to give you the X Division champion. But I will give you a match, and you're going on next, so that we find out a little bit who he wrestles. Gia Miller backstage with Macklin. She's trying to like hell to try to figure out what's going on between Moose and Macklin. Like, hey, are you guys dating? Are you guys not together? Are you guys gonna like?
In my ass.
Are you guys gonna attack me like Oreo just attacked me? What's going on with you guys? It's time to come forward. It's time to be honest. It's 2022. What's going on? And they just will not talk about it. It's crazy.
But they will be tagging next week.
Oh,
But can they coexist?
can they?
Because that's the final line. As Gia's like, well, you're tagging with him next week. And he's like, well, I guess Moose is, I guess he's okay then, or whatever he said.
Tune in and find out next week.
Yeah, like what he said, maybe Moose thought about it. That's what he said. Maybe Moose thought about it. So it sounds like, is there a deal going down? Because remember, Barbed Wire Massacre, Victory Road. We don't know much about Victory Road, but we know Barbed Wire Massacre will be going on.
Really, what else do you need to know?
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. I'm tuning in for this.
It's just going to be 3 hours of Barbed Wire Massacre.
Oh, it's going to be nuts. The main event's going to be
insane. In a barbed wire match. Good enough.
Can't go wrong.
Do whatever else you want for the show. I'm already tuning in.
Sabu's going to show up in the front row and just eat popcorn. I mean, what else do you need?
Wheelchair. Somebody's going to roll him out.
He's been like, guys, give me 5 minutes. I got my turban. Come on, let's go. Oh, the good old days, right? So yeah, we'll find out what's going on next week, I guess. Kenny King in the ring. He's all excited. He's like, I'm going to get that X Division title back, but first I got to beat this jabroni. This jabroni is no jabroni. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling's Yuya Uemura. I said that 100 times before we went live to make sure I got it right.
Good work, JesSICKa.
So please, somebody applaud me for that. I didn't destroy it. What did you guys think about?
You didn't pull a bison on that pronunciation.
I didn't. I botched a few others during the live reaction. Excuse me. Wow. Yeah, words. Words are not working with me tonight.
What even are they? Sound.
Magnets. How do they work?
How do they work?
Right. All right. What did you guys think of this match?
Now they let him do a lot in this match. Kenny King, another one. Like we were talking with Crazy Steve, but Kenny King, 2-time X Division champion, underrated member, I would say, right now of the roster by most. Guy can go. As good an in-ring guy. That's really one of the best ones in the company. Just doesn't really get, because his style maybe. He doesn't do, like, he'll do some aerial stuff, but he's not super flashy. He's got like the right mix of like technical wrestling and a little bit of athleticism. But I've always been a big Kenny King fan. So seeing him go in this match, but honestly, I was surprised. I didn't think, I thought it would be a good match, but then Kenny King would probably win, but shenanigans, of course. Mia Yim got her revenge, came out during the match. Yes. And Kenny, once again, was trying to maybe use some underhanded tactics to win. Oh. She stopped him. And in doing so, though, she gave him a nice little smack, a little kick. And bam, Yuya took advantage, and he wins. He wins his Impact debut.
Very cool. Very cool. Truck, any comments on this?
Just that I really enjoyed it, and that's 2 for the New Japan guys on the same card. That was a bit of a surprise, to me at least. But yeah, I really liked it. If he comes back, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, and this is his what they call it, the excursion in the States. Yes. So he's going to be around for a while. He'll do some Impact. He'll probably go to AEW. Probably do some Indies, maybe MLW. He's going to go all over the place and just he did. They did say that he graduated
The
from
dojo.
the dojo, so he's not a young lion. He had the
Yeah, he has knee
he had
pads.
some- he had ring gear, like real ring gear.
Yeah, he's not
And,
just wearing black. Yeah.
Right, which I learned some time ago, because New Japan is a lot of fun to watch, but it's very different. It's a different, culturally, a lot of different, rules about, coming up in the company, and they make you earn your spot. They really do, which I think is proper, nothing wrong with that at all. So, but yeah, great match for this kid. And we'll see, I'm guessing they're going to keep him in the X division, but we'll see. Doesn't have to be. But facing a 3-time X division champion like Kenny King.
2-time, should have been 3-time.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, 2-time, but the ref screwed him, J-Bone.
Oh, damn ref. Oh yeah. So
Zebras.
I'll call this definitely number one of a few different upsets this evening. So, but not complaining. A lot of fun. It wasn't a squash by any means. Kenny King really worked with him, and I'm going to put that in the same bracket in a sense that, like what I was just talking about with Mickie James, you got a veteran working with a younger generation and putting them over. Win or loss, it's still putting them over in a sense. So.
Oh yeah.
So all right, next we get Sami Callihan just blowing up the screen here, probably giving someone a seizure. Probably not their not their best day. No, Sammy's just going wild. He's bound and determined to have. How did he say it? Oh, he's bound and determined to have Moose and Macklin at each other's throats by next week. So he's gonna do something next week or within the next couple of weeks before Victory Road. I can't wait to see what he does.
100%, Jay. I absolutely love this guy's work. When this match was first announced, my lizard brain figured, he's just gonna get a partner of his own to try and balance things off. But no, he's gonna big brains this. He's gonna get these two fighting each other and just sit back and have some popcorn while they kill each other. And the best thing from what I've seen of Macklin, he's 100% willing to die in the ring. He doesn't care. He's gonna be the first to bleed, if anything.
Macklin's. I really do think that Macklin is similar to Sami Callihan in a lot of ways, where he's willing to do some extreme stuff to really put on a good match and just go out there and just kick.
The man
ass.
has zero hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
That X Division shot he had against Trey, however many months ago that was, I think it was a 3-way. It was him, Trey, and I want to say somebody else, and I can't remember who, and I feel bad about that. But like in the first 30 seconds, he topes himself over the top to the outside and torpedoes himself. And I'm like, that dude is like 220, 230, and he's willing to do something like that. Oh, I'm in his corner.
Macklin's great. I became a fan of his quickly. And there was a lot of people hesitant, like, all right, what's up with this guy? What is this guy doing? What's he about?
Me.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Are you on board now, Truck? Are you?
I am on board with Whiskey Man. I'm on board with Whiskey Man. Front towards enemy, absolutely. Man, I believe that you're going to blow yourself up in the ring. I think that if Impact did a barbed wire exploding ring death match, Macklin and Sammy would put something legendary on. On. Yeah.
It'd be better than Kenny Omega versus Mox. And Mox
Don't
is
take
one of my
much,
favorites. Oh.
It was a good match until the last 10 seconds.
Right. That's all anybody talks about.
That's all anybody is going to remember. So.
Right.
Well, it's just like a certain biggest pay-per-view of the year for a company And nobody even knows what happened now because of a press conference afterwards. Might as well never happen. But unlike those other companies, we don't got to worry about that in Impact Wrestling. Just like Ash here with the super sticker, a little Impact Wrestling coach.
I like how there's no
Impact Wrestling!
there's no exclamation point. There's no elaboration. It just says Impact Wrestling.
I agree. She knows what's coming.
Impact Wrestling.
Oh, Bison in the chat. Only room for one Lord on TNI. He's an actual Lord, though, Bison.
I am an actual Lord Bison, so that's.
Do you have the paperwork? Truck has the paperwork.
But I got the paperwork. I got a land title designation and everything.
You're this guy.
I'll give you the address. You can go visit it for me if you want. Send me some photos.
You can like water it or whatever. Oh, we're careful. We don't want Bison watering anything, I don't think.
What time is it over there? It's late.
Go to bed, Bison.
No. Or is it early?
Oh, Bison. Bison might be a Lord too.
Although, just a reminder with Bison in the chat, the TNI UK team will be having their 100th episode next Wednesday. So definitely tune in. Supposedly, a lot of big names, surprises are all going to show up. Who knows? Maybe J-Bone, the biggest name of them all. Who knows? Anybody can show up.
Or could be just a bunch
Melvins.
There might be a few of those.
But I'm sure there will be some people, fairly excited for this.
Oh my God!
All right, settle down, Gia. Damn. I mean, I love Team UK too, but holy cows. Let's
now, speaking of excited, J-Bone, do I got to say the next segment after this, after Sammy, we got a little Sammy, but then we get the EY Diener segment.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a throwback to maybe what Impact was doing during the Hardy run and all. This was good stuff right here. You get Diener just like walk into a building, like walk into a house. You get the Man of Constant Sorrow soundtrack going. You get EY smoking the cigar. And then you kind of have a little bit of a cross, like the Violent by Design almost becoming a little control your narrative like. Just saying. I'm really interested to see where this goes. Truck, what'd you think of this one? Because I really like this.
I really liked it too. Best wishes to Joe Doring, obviously. This is definitely not news that he wanted to hear, I'm sure. And it's certainly not news that anybody wants to hear. I was surprised how quickly EY Diener pivoted into doing something. All right, we're going to make it clear that we're keeping this thing going. And they certainly did that with this segment. Not just the, laying it out that Diener's staying committed to the cause, but he's actually got a gaggle of enforcers, dudes in hoodies, who I'm guessing are going to show up from now on and become a little bit of a pride. I think maybe there's an upside here. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I definitely think. I don't know if we'll see that cast of characters, sort of like to control your narrative stuff, but I definitely think that means we're going to see new people. Like, I think we're going to see people. They could differ. Maybe you won't see faces, but I feel like they probably will reveal additional members, which I'm a fan of Violent by Design. Obviously, I'm a huge Joe Doring fan, and I'm thrilled that they advertised a T-shirt during the show. And, like, they were 100% upfront with what's going on. Like, they didn't. Yeah. They're like, the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds from the T-shirt sale go to Joe Doring. in his fight against cancer. I know a lot of people obviously order them on shopimpact.com. But I'm also hearing that if you're going to Nashville for Victory Road, it sounds like they should be there as well. So you can hopefully grab a shirt and support Joe. But this was a great segment. I think this could be a very interesting how they take this, because the one thing Impact doesn't get credit for is, as you said, the pivot. They can pivot better than almost any wrestling company out there. I'll always use the example, and it was a different regime, really. But going back to that Bound for Glory series, they taped for like a week in Florida, a bunch of what everyone thought random matches that wound up being a tournament to determine a new champion, and nobody had a clue. They can do this stuff, and they do it all the time, because I know people are even in the chat is like how can they keep talent? Which I don't necessarily think that's really an issue. They have a main roster of people that are always there. Then you have a revolving door of some other people coming in and out of the company. Yeah. Match is fresh. It happens. But I think that's the same thing here. They're very good at adapting this. And that's a lot of people at Impact. Scott D'Amore, a bunch of people backstage, the writers, they're all doing a good job with that.
And I hope that it's going to be a great opportunity for Cody as well, because he definitely needs a bit of a refresh within this faction as well. You know, when we saw the transition from Cody Deaner to just Deaner, I was really excited, because I see this as a guy with a lot of upside. And as the Deaners, he was kind of, they were fun to watch, but they were comedy jobbers. Let's be real here. And I figured when, you see the switch to VBD, we're going to see something new from him. And we really haven't. They still put on really good matches, but he never gets to talk, and he's always the one who eats the pins. Joe's gone now, so you're going to have to do something slightly different. Otherwise, Cody's going to take even more of that load on. And I hope that that's what we're about to see here.
Honestly, for a second, I was hoping that, now, once again, I don't know if everyone would have went this way, but when they were going face to face, I'm like, I could see Cody Deaner in a feud with EY by the end of this, and believe it, and be like, you know what, Deaner, this could, I think by the end of this, and everybody was always saying, oh, Deaner's going to take the pin all early on during BBD. Could the end game of Violent by Design, and once again, this could be long-term, 7-month storytelling, is Cody Deaner going over EY in a major pay-per-view match to make Cody Deaner? I think it could.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Yeah.
Because he's great in these type of segments, and he's great in the ring too. Yeah. It's just he has such a long history in TNA Impact of, just like you said, but so did EY. He did comedy a lot. He did all kinds of crazy angles. But this character has been a very more serious character. But when you have EY, a future Hall of Famer in the company, and you have Big Joe Doring, who was undefeated most of his run, Deaner's going to be the third wheel there. Yeah. But now that he's not, I think he really has a chance to shine here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed one thing is staying constant, and that's the design word. So obviously they're doing something different. These guys are evolving.
They're controlling their narrative.
I see what you
Nobody's doing that anymore. They're all going back to somebody else's narrative.
You're right. That guy joined Billy Corgan too. So yeah, he's not controlling anything. He's being controlled. But anyways, still love EC3. I don't care what he does. Whether he's doing his own thing or somewhere else, I don't care. This could be a case where EY is going to bring in some new faces to join him, and that's how his group evolves, and it becomes more of even more of like a cult thing, whereas like you sort of like, okay, EY is doing, he has Joe, he had Rhino for a bit, he's got Diener, and they're a faction, and they got a cause. But I think they've got the capability, if they bring in a few new faces, like say like a month or two from now, maybe Bound for Glory, we got some new faces debuting with EY and Diener, and really shape something, mold whatever they're doing now into something brand new. Similar concept, similar goals, but with a whole new look. I don't know how they're going to do this, but that's what I see happening. I'm very excited for it, because if anyone's going to pull this off, it's going to be Impact Wrestling and a veteran like EY and Diener.
No, they could.
Diener's talented too.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people, I think the chat, a lot of people, I think they all kind of felt the same way. Like a lot of things going on in this one. Because I think we were all, none of us knew what was going to happen with Violent by Design. Were they going to just like slowly get away from it? Were they going to take them a new direction? What was going to happen? And I think we'll see what happens with it, to be determined. But yeah. I'm liking what we're starting to see. I think this could really develop into something pretty interesting down the road.
I mean, is it a sign that they are going to bring back EC3 and he's going to join EY? Maybe, and if that's what it is, I'm down with it. I love EC3. I was sporting the shirt the other day when I was live on my channel. So, or was it this channel? I forget. Anyways, it's been a long couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see if this has an actuality of happening, or if this is like my Team Canada calls that always go unreturned.
We'll get to that. We'll bring that up again in the main event. So just hold that thought. Bring that back up. So, but yeah, as far as what this could be, it has the potential to be being the biggest segment of the entire episode. But we'll wait and see. It's storytelling, and that's something that Impact Wrestling does best. So just wait and see. Chelsea Green versus Taya Valkyrie next. Taya Valkyrie, if she gets the win here, certainly would put their group, the Ragnarok, back in contention for these knockout tag titles. But doesn't happen. Chelsea gets the win here. Even with JesSICKa at ringside and Rosemary, Taya's got the whole crew out there.
'Cause I'm sick.
Thank you for playing that. Oh my god, I love that so much. Oh my god, I love that so much.
We love JesSICKa. Absolutely love JesSICKa. She is this character is an absolute highlight of the Knockouts division now. And it usually, we don't say that about comedic characters. We love characters like Falaba when he was around. We love Johnny Swinger. But I don't think we ever expected them to do much. JesSICKa, though, has all the potential in the world to become
Johnny Swinger for digital media champion, J-Bone. What?
Well,
you would have loved to see Johnny Swinger be the champion and not know what it is.
We gotta come on, Bill. He doesn't even know what a tic tac is. I don't even know what a tic tac is.
You guys swing?
He's too busy with his pizzles, and
show some respect to a former one half of the TNA tag team champions.
Hey, I love Swinger.
TNA. Come on.
I love Swinger. I met the guy. Great guy. But you know what? He's still trying to figure out how to get tapes out of a damn VCR.
That's what would be so great about it. Come on.
You can bring a boombox to the ring and have the title going across the boombox. That actually that'd be sick. That'd be pretty cool. But Chelsea Green, Taya Valkyrie. What do you guys think?
No, you can't go wrong with these here. Now, I'll tell you, it feels like every time we talk about a Chelsea Green match lately, she's been very good lately. She's had some of her best work in the last handful of matches. Even not all the stuff with Deonna, but obviously a lot of the stuff with Deonna. Deonna's one of the best wrestlers in the company, period. And I think this has obviously helped Chelsea a lot too. But she's been very good. Like, I did not expect this one. I guess obviously when we saw the backstage segment last week, and this was going to be the trial for JesSICKa, not distracting, and like Taya was on Team JesSICKa, she wound up costing her the match, of course. So Taya somewhat protected, obviously, in this loss to Chelsea. It's going to be interesting who to see. Like, it still feels like it's leading towards VXT versus a grouping of this team. But is it Ragnarok? Is it Rosemary and JesSICKa as a team? It'll be interesting to see what this turns out being. But Truck, what do you think of this? And what do you think of a Chelsea, who's been very in the news lately? News, I said. News.
I didn't watch much wrestling over the summer, so I have no clue. I will say I loved her hat. I love her outfits. I love her
Rebel vibes.
Yeah. And the skirt too. That's the hot mess thing, right?
And the hot mess, yeah.
No, it was a good match. It was really physical. I'm glad Taya's back. It's too bad she had such a poor experience because her exit was such a big deal that they built up to it for such an extended period of time, and then no fault of her own, it did not work out the way that she hoped it was going to. But then coming back doesn't feel strange at all. Feels completely natural.
It's like that reality series 60 Days In. Man, it just wrecks you.
Yeah. Anyhow,
it's prison life, David.
It was a good match. It was good and physical. I definitely think they're building up to a longer interaction between these two different factions, and I hope that we're not going to see some sort of split between the three face ladies right off the bat. I want them to stick together for a while because I love all three of them, and I just want them to be happy.
And they do have a T-shirt, so that's a good sign.
And they have a T-shirt, so you come up right away. You can't do it.
Yeah, because you have to clearance that T-shirt immediately.
You have to scratch off one of the transfers off of that shirt so you could keep selling it. You can't do that, Scott. You know how much work that is?
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
It's not happening. No, I love these three together. I do think eventually, if we do get a Su Yung return, I can see one of the three. I have no clue who, but I can see one of the three, depending on the character of Su Yung that returns, going off and forming a new tag team. And I'm fine with that, Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. But I'm very entertained by this so far, especially with JesSICKa, and just watching Taya react to JesSICKa and then watching Rosemary react to JesSICKa. Two polar opposite effects here. Rosemary's losing her mind. Taya's like, "Oh, I love JesSICKa." So crazy. Yeah. Do you like JesSICKa too? Loves JesSICKa.
Loves it.
Thank you, Ori.
But did she love this backstage segment, J-Bone, with Jordan Grace?
Oh, I'm getting to that. So we got you sticking around for that? No, so apparently she's not a fan of Gia Miller. I don't know why. Gia Miller backstage with Jordan Grace, and she's talking about her upcoming match with Masha Slamovich, and saying how she had all these matches, and the crowd jumps in, and Masha gets in their heads, and she's like, I could tell you this, that Masha Slamovich is not going to get in my head before the match. It's not going to happen. So then Jordan Grace leaves the conversation, goes into her locker room, and there on the wall is plastered like 100 pictures of Jordan Grace, and in blood red tape in words over the pinups says, "Masha's gonna kill you."
How about that?
And Jordan Grace is just like, oh. So yeah, she can say it all she wants. Jordan Grace's immediate reaction, Jordan Grace's immediate reaction to this, you know that Masha Slamovich is living rent-free in Jordan Grace's head now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because the crowd, this is something that the crowd has been chanting and will absolutely jump on this now. And it's going to be Masha's next shirt. Guarantee it.
Okay, well, you have to. I don't think there is a Masha shirt yet. So that's definitely something that needs to happen, I would imagine, by Bound for Glory, with her being in the title match. I don't want to give a spoiler alert, but I think Truck may have already crowned her as the champion. Because I think that's who you said Mickie's going to challenge eventually.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak it into existence now, because every time I say, and I shouldn't use the word threaten because it sounds like that, like it's us versus Impact Wrestling, but no, it's more of a motivational thing. Like, hey, come on, you guys, jump on this merch concept, make it happen. Because if you don't, I'm going to.
J-Bone, you know what you should do? You should design a shirt, tag Impact, tag Masha, say, hey,
Masha's going to kill you.
Bam. I know other designers have gotten T-shirts made that way.
Yeah. And I don't fancy myself as a supreme graphic artist. I dabble,
definitely texts and stuff like that, and I think that's your strong suit. So go for it, man.
I take pride in making the covers for our shows and designing. I'm no Juan of the Dead. Okay, I will never claim to be a Juan of the Dead. That dude. In fact, I don't know if we can talk about this. Trent dropped a picture in our chat earlier tonight before we went live, saying that HEMI's got a new shirt coming out courtesy of Juan of the Dead, and it's sick. It's absolutely sick. It's probably one of the best ones I've seen Juan of the Dead do. But keep an eye. I'm sure Trent's going to put that out before the weekend. So I'm no Juan of the Dead, but I do have fun trying to design stuff and come out with stuff. So yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll.
Yeah, because you look at some of their text-based shirts have been some of their best ones. Like Violent by Design has been a huge hit with them. Honor No More, huge hit with them. Sometimes the more simpler, if you want to call them, the Bag 'em and Tag 'em. Sometimes they're more of a hit with the Impact faithful than even more graphics. So
we'll see what the ball man comes
throw a
up.
little blood on there. It'll be gold.
There you go. So, but yeah, definitely living rent free in Jordan Grace's head now. Then we get a very interesting, man, these backstage segments and these other, I will just say, outworldly segments that we've had between this one we just talked about. We had the EY Diener out in the possible new compound or something. But I don't know what's the future of the design. And now we got Vincent somewhere, probably in some dungeon underground, where he created PCO. And he's trying to make sure that PCO is in the right frame of mind going into Bound for Glory, so that he is absolutely 100% with Honor No More. And it shows the struggle. It's not just Vincent whispering sweet nothings in his ear. It's you see the PCO is between these little verbal segments of Vincent is, shaking his head, the strobe's going. The internal struggle is there. The character's incredible. What did you guys think of the Vincent PCO segment?
No, this was, I think you hit it, J-Bone. This was a throwback because what we've been seeing lately in Impact is more of your typical backstage segments. Like, all right, it's right backstage, it's right off of the ramp, stuff like that, which is fine, but that's all it's been. So now that they're doing these ones in other locations, or you can't tell where it is. Is it in the arena? Is it somewhere else? I think that's adding a lot. And different camera work, like very close up, as opposed to kind of the same perspective. So that's what Impact was getting creative with over the years, that maybe they haven't been doing as much of. It's been more of a standard, which is fine too. It's more of your typical, get used to it. It's not different. But this kind of reminds you of a lot of these segments from maybe early of this regime, like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So very cool. But hold on. We have a super sticker from Ronin Blue.
Oh, super chat.
Ronin Blue. I lost my BFF from my brother from work yesterday. He passed away suddenly. So sorry if I'm silent for a bit. I truly appreciate you guys for picking me up. Very sorry to hear that, Ronin.
Definitely sorry, Ronin.
But hopefully, just our best with you, and obviously with them, and glad you could at least stop by, and definitely.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's why we're here. We love having fun. We love talking wrestling, but we love having fun more than anything. And if we made you chuckle or anything, and just kind of take you out of reality for a little bit, hope we can do that for you. But thank
what
you for the support.
Wrestling is.
We love you, man. Thank you.
Always. And that's what it is. That's what it's for. This is a distraction. This is entertainment. It's there the world's a very serious place, and we can get away from it. But even look at it. You have the crossover. Like last week, we're talking all, and this week again about Joe Doran. Like you can't help it. We saw it during the panini of the last couple of years. It's tough to separate all this stuff. But Ronan, here you go.
Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, we love you, Ronan. Hey, keep your chin up, man.
And you know what? I know, and I don't want to be a downer on it, but I know it was mentioned in the chat earlier that I did check, and Chris Bay did put out on Twitter the prayers for his mother. So I guess his mother is dealing probably with some type of health situation. So definitely we wish our best to Chris Bay. So definitely, I'm sure a lot of you probably have already seen it on the socials, but definitely go in there and give some support for Chris and his mom.
There you go. Sending our love to a member of the Bullet Club. So yeah, fun segment here with Vincent and PCO, trying to mold him, keep him on a straight and narrow with Honor No More. Then we get a DMC title match. Bhupinder. What's that?
On the line. Straps on the line, Jim.
It is. Bhupinder Gujjar going against Brian Myers, defending his digital media title. Man, I was really hoping that we could see Bhupinder rise above all this stuff that he's dealing with Brian Myers, but Brian Myers managed to bring Bhupinder Gujjar down to his level.
He's not professional, Jabo.
What are you talking about? It says right on his jacket. He's professional. It says it on the jacket.
Well,
because it says it on a jacket.
You can't just put that
false advertising.
there, Bill. No, it doesn't work like that. He would walk in and people would say that, see it, and they think, you're not professional. You can't have that on your jacket. But they don't do that, so he must be professional because it says it on his jacket. So I just, I don't understand why everybody has it out for Brian Myers here.
Just because you have it on your jacket doesn't mean, no.
Who would do that, James? Who would do that? Put a sticker on his jacket and have that sticker tell a lie. No one would do that.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Bill, Bill, that wasn't very nice.
Truck, where have you gone?
Chuck is very upset. He's pulling a
My logic is unassailable, James.
That's right. For a second, I was worried, though, but I don't think it was this.
If you have small children, please ask them to leave the room right now.
Truck would never be that unprofessional. He saves that for the rave time. What happens at the rave stays at the rave. There you go. But yeah, Bhupinder gets DQ'd here because he tried to get.
I was glad to see it.
Were you?
Well, I wanted him to win the belt, but
right.
Brian Myers always gets away. Like he was going to skate away, and then Bhupinder was just going to lose and not even have. At least he got a nice shot in on Myers.
Oh, he did.
I liked how he looked surprised after the DQ got called. He's looking at the ref and he's looking at the film. He's like, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I didn't bring it in the ring.
I didn't bring it in the ring.
The funny thing is, though, how many times have you seen in a match? Let's just say someone brings in a steel chair. That like the heel brings in the steel chair. He's holding it up. Somehow the face will push it and it will hit him in the face. So therefore he used the chair, but he doesn't get called for it. That's not a DQ. But since Myers brought the belt in, referee saw him bring the belt in, he missed, but then Bhupinder was able to use it, he gets DQ'd. Is that fair? Maybe not.
Bhupinder doesn't think so. He doesn't understand what's happening.
I might be on Team Bhupinder. Let's change the rule book.
Well, I tell you what, Scott's changing the rule book all the time because in the segment following the match, actually it's 2 segments later, but we'll talk about it right away, and then we'll get the Gail Kim in a minute. So the outcome of this, of course, Bhupinder's DQ. It's like, oh, Bhupinder, come on. So, and of course, Brian's just shooting his mouth off at Scott. It's like, all right, do the right thing, Bhupinder. Give me the belt. Gives him the title. Bhupinder's not going completely, crazy here. And he's controlling his emotions. And Scott does not give the belt to Brian. Shocking. He doesn't just, give it back to him. So, it's like, well, that would just mean that, the bad guy wins again. Scott's like, no, screw this. I'm taking the title. And Victory, almost said Bound for Glory. No, Victory Road, we're going to have the first ever ladder match for the Digital Media Championship. I like this. It just puts
not at Victory Road, J-Bone. I believe it's the Go Home show for Victory. He said 2 weeks from now.
Oh, 2 weeks from now is Victory Road.
Well, I think it's going to be the Thursday. Because remember, there's a Thursday on Access TV, and then Victory Road's the following night. So I think it's the Access show main event, probably.
Oh, it could be. It could be. I'll double check this. But But nonetheless,
The timing's very tight, though. It's confusing.
Right. So we're back to an even playing field. No one has the title. It's going to be hanging up above the ring. So
he said, "You guys can kill each other."
Right. So it's like, oh my God. They might even steal a little barbed wire from the main event.
Ooh. Never know.
of Victory Road. So who knows? But yeah, fun match. Didn't end how I wanted it, but what we're getting in the future for this is pretty good. Pretty good.
But now we got to go back to the Gail Kim, which might be my favorite. After the EY, this was my one of my favorite segments of the night. You got Gail Kim, Tasha Steelz, and Savannah Evans.
Yeah,
can't go wrong.
Respect.
You got it's very respectful. Gail Kim always respectful.
Totally.
Talking to Tasha and Savannah, and talking about Killer Kelly wanting her to join the broadcast when she faces Alicia Edwards next week.
Yes.
And then Tasha's like, well, why? Why does she want me on the broadcast team? And Gail says, Kelly likes when people watch. And then Tasha says, Gail leaves, says, what kind of S&M is that? Which I said to the crew, I'm like, that's bite material. We got to get that one down. What kind of S&M is that? That's the good stuff, J-Bone.
That is.
Great segment. And you remember there was a guy on this podcast at times that when she first showed up, reappeared lately, Killer Kelly is like, what's her character? I don't get it. What's her character? Killer Kelly, the voyeur. She's awesome.
There you go. There you go.
What a character.
I want to go back and watch the last few weeks of segments with her and matches with her, because the last few times I've seen her over these last couple of weeks, she's said stuff that has come across to me as a double entendre. And I thought, you're just being,
you're not.
It. And no, I'm definitely not. Like, even I can pick up on this one.
She's laying it on thick.
Pretty thick. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it because, respectfully.
Well, that's the thing. I know they did one backstage segment, so Bell's Boy, cover your ears, where Johnny Swinger made reference about Killer Kelly outside of the dungeon. I almost feel like they do need to revisit a segment where like she pops out of the dungeon or something with some kind of comment, which would be awesome. But we'll see if they go there. I hope they do.
Or maybe a mask.
Oh, there you go. Demolition's back, Daddy.
Is that too far? Is that going to send Zicky Dice into a?
As long as Zicky Dice leaves the ball gag behind and doesn't bring that back, I think we're okay.
Oh God. Yeah, that was. I was like, no. Can we come back from this? I don't know. It's crazy. So that's next week. Tasha Steelz has a match with Alicia Edwards.
Yes, so
is that what it is?
Tune in, yeah. Killer
Kelly,
Tasha on commentary.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on, Jay, but that was the whole segment.
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to watch Killer Kelly and have her watching the match.
Watching. Jay-Bone, watching.
Or Tasha. I just keep effing this up. I'm sorry. Tasha's going to be watching.
Yeah, she'll be watching Killer Kelly. Killer Kelly likes when people watch.
Okay, I got it.
She likes when you watch, J-Bone.
I'm not used to this. I'm just a fat middle-aged bald guy. I don't get into this. What did you say? Like voyeur stuff? I'm a simple man, missionary. That's it. Anyways,
Oh, baby!
Main event time, J-Bone.
we talked about Scott D'Amore taking a title. Eddie Edwards versus Heath, the red-headed rebel. Man, and I think we've got another line for an upcoming T-shirt, and it would be strangely appropriate. Pardon me, for this podcast. It's no more hit and runs for Heath.
No more hit and runs for Heath.
No more hit and runs for Heath. I think that'd be a great shirt. They're like, well, I don't get it. Why would that fit your podcast? Well, if you've been around for a few years and you're part of the Patreon and you might have heard a few stories about J-Bone, you'll understand. So
J-Bone's been known to do such things.
oh, just no, stop. It's not story time right now. It's not story time. But I thought that was hilarious. So, oh no, it's not that bad. But yeah, talk about the main event here, guys. Eddie Edwards versus Heath. Truck, what'd you think?
Good match. Anything specific to say about it? I feel bad for Heath. His injury came at a terrible time. I'm glad he's back and I'm glad he's still with the company, but it certainly never felt like they've recaptured the kind of lightning in a bottle moment they had with him when he first came in. Yeah, not really much to say about it otherwise. It definitely feels like this is going to lead to something in the shows remaining before Victory Road, just to try and fill time. But yeah, not too much to say about it otherwise.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like if this wasn't revolving around the Impact World title and Eddie versus Josh Alexander, this would have a much bigger feel, much different feel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, this was, and obviously we've been seeing Heath for weeks coming out of the crowd, attacking Honor No More, hitting wake-up calls left and right out of nowhere. So now that he went against Eddie, we get some shenanigans, and you kind of knew it going in, because I don't want to claim any copyright infringement, but the Drama King was throwing around all kinds of shenanigan talk before this main event, and we had it, of course. And the Miracle Mike Bennett came in right after, it's like, oh. He got it, then a distraction, a low blow to Heath. Obviously, Eddie going into Bound for Glory, he had to look strong here. So it's surprising they went with Heath in this one, but in this match. But they protected him a little bit. I'm sure he'll still have a role because that's what he's been doing. He's been going after Honor No More. So probably something at Victory Road is going to happen here. We'll see, maybe some kind of multi-man match, like a grouping again, with Honor No More versus some type of Team Impact again. But I think we have a hit and run happening as we speak, J-Bone, which is shocking.
It's a last-minute hit and run. But I had to see Truck. I had to see Truck. That's what I had to do today. I miss you, Truck. God damn it.
I miss you too, man.
You're too busy for us nowadays.
He's a lord.
He is a lord. Are you really a lord?
We're a lord and lady. Yeah.
If you told me you were, I'd believe you right away.
I am. No, I seriously am. Yeah.
It's awesome.
He and Bison have that in common.
Oh yeah, they're both Lord. Well, I gave Bison the Lord Bison.
You named Bison Lord Bison?
That was one who gave him. I said Lord Bison because he's a British guy. I was like, well, Lord Bison. You know, I said some shit like that.
He ran with
it. Property designation and everything. I'm gonna go visit it. I'm gonna take some photos. I'll tell you the story. It's my birthday was about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife, you know, because you hit a certain age, what else are you supposed to get each other? Silly gifts. She found a land conservation charity in Scotland where if you donate, they protect, 10 square meters of ground or whatever. And in return, they give you this title, this designation. And apparently it's actually legal. So if I wanted to, I could start, filling out my information when I apply when I get airline tickets as Lord such and such. And then I could take this piece of paper and say, hey guys, I'm not just making this up. I actually am. So when you call for me, please make sure you call me by my proper title. So we could all be lords. We could all be lords. We could all be lords and ladies.
Nice.
Guys,
nice.
Okay. All right. How about this? I'm going to ask the listeners to donate a bunch of YouTube tips right now so we can go buy lordships. And just all get royal titles. Like, Bill, imagine you can walk in as the Lord of Impact Wrestling. Think about that.
If anybody here should,
I don't know. I want to be a common man.
The common man with a common plan. Just a regular guy. Just give me my front row seat.
Just a dude.
I'd like to be a King Bone Man. That's
King. Now you want forget Lord. You want to be King.
King Bone.
Well, Courtney is she's contributing to the fun. We thank you, Courtney.
All right,
Courtney.
We're on our way to lordship, baby. Look at that. All right.
There we go.
So
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know what this costs, but man, I can feel the crown being put on my head already. That's hey, just much love to the royal family. Rest in peace, Queen. But guess what? Look out, Bone Man's coming over. Yeah.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Is there any Duke ships up for grabs? Can we get some Duke going?
Duke ships. How was Impact tonight? I didn't get to see
Duke William.
It was pretty good. It was solid.
Duke William really
good show. Good show. We were just going over a great segment.
Continue
talking about we just finished about Killer Kelly, but with Tasha Steele, some good bite material. But I actually referenced you, Trent, because I think you're infamous now on our podcast for when Killer Kelly returned saying, "What's her character? I don't get it."
I don't get what that sound like Jerry Seinfeld saying it too. What's her character? I don't get it. She just got red hair and she walks out of closets. I don't understand. Well, did they define the character? I mean, what did they say tomorrow? I have been digging it. Last week was good with the Tasha attack in the hallway and all that stuff. Not bad. We're getting there. I still think it needs a little more definition. You got to keep fine tuning it.
She's a voyeur. She's she's going to have Tasha on commentary because she likes when people watch her.
Oh, son of a bitch! Really? Is that what it is?
That's it.
That's fucking hot, man.
If you like that kind of stuff.
Oh, Killer Kelly likes that kind of stuff. I like that's fucking great.
I'm in so much trouble.
Listen. That's hot. She's hot, and that's a hot, edgy character. I can get with that. If that's what the character is, it's different and it's fucking cool. I like that.
There you go. See?
Okay. I will say so. Speaking of the knockouts, I was very shocked. I got to bring up different stuff from last week because I don't know if they followed it up today. Last week's show was main evented by Deonna and Masha, which was a fantastic match. Phenomenal. My only question on that, though, was, number one, Deonna is a tag champ. So, I didn't understand why she was put into that match. But secondly, I feel like they gave it away too easy. I feel like they gave it away too soon. Deonna and Masha should have been saved for way down the line. I mean, that's a fucking
build match, man. Like that to me, to be given away this early on free TV while Deonna's a tag champ, there's no major stakes involved other than the title shot. I was like, man, I'm shocked they gave it away that soon. Because I mean, the match was fantastic. They absolutely killed it.
Yeah, main event on TV. You don't get a ton of them, so that was big. But I think you will probably see that match again. I think they wanted to have Masha because she beat some people, but not a ton of big contenders to get to the title match. So I think they wanted to establish her as saying she can beat Jordynne Grace. Truck already gave her the win, so it's just a formality at this point, Bound for Glory. So I think a big win over Deonna, who's the preeminent name over the last couple of years in that division, builds her. And you revisit it later. It's one of those things, if you really look at it, oh yeah, but people are going to forget about that. Like if they have another match, the build will be there again.
Yeah, that was going to be one of those that like gets thrown in as like a historical point that they actually.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a rubber match because they had that knockouts knockdown match where Masha wasn't a roster member and got beat in the first round.
That was her first match in Impact Wrestling.
Oh,
before she was offered the contract, Deonna beat her.
Okay,
so now that's kind of a storyline. They're 1-1 now, and then they'll have a rubber match probably with Masha as champion at some point.
There you go.
No, that's good. Okay, don't mean to deter too much the last week. I just wanted to mention that because we were talking about knockouts. So
no, it's fine.
But last
week, we were just actually at the main event, which was Heath challenging Eddie Edwards. Shenanigans played a part. Eddie Edwards comes out on top here, but that's our other Bound for Glory match because you obviously have the Eddie versus Josh. Heath was building up. He'll probably still feud with Honor No More, but our Bound for Glory, like pretty much. That's one thing I will say. If there's one thing, Victory Road, a couple weeks away. Bound for Glory, less than a month away now.
Yeah.
Not a lot of matches on the card right now. So there's going to have to be, there's brewing storylines all about. But an actual card, one other match that did get announced tonight was a Pick Your Poison match for Victory Road, which is Jordynne Grace versus whoever Masha's handpicked opponent is at Victory Road. Will it be someone from the roster? Or maybe not, because Impact is promoting there will be debuts at Victory Road. Tapings at the national tapings. So that seems like an obvious place to have somebody. Maybe it's a returning person. Maybe it's a Taylor Wilde. Who knows?
I heard Taylor's taking it easy. I heard she's not really eyeing a comeback right now.
I don't know. She goes back for because she was on she had Moose on her podcast and said she's still under contract. She's just waiting for her storyline really to come back. So who knows?
Gotcha.
It's not like the Lady Frost situation.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Tough call with that one, man. Real tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
Taylor should show up wearing snowflake earrings or something like that. See if she can set her off.
I mean, you guys saw the thing with Taya that they tried taking shots at Taya about her snow gear, and then Heather Monroe
6 years ago.
Yeah, I was like, come on,
get out of here.
That was doing that a long time. When she was Taya Valkyrie, that was her initial gimmick in Impact.
Yeah, she
was. It's a really bad look on them because it tells me you don't even watch the show, do you?
Well, that's sadly the take a lot of the time.
Well, it's like you're taking. To me, it's like you got to take shots. You got to do proper research to take shots. Like that. That's where they lost. I mean, they've been quiet since, right?
I wonder why.
That was pretty much it.
Counting the days.
Man. Eddie winning.
Well, I think they all got deleted though. It's like people get ramped up over a day or two, and then are like, "Oh, you know what? This looks bad.
Oops.
Time to get rid of it." Yeah.
So was that the main? That was it.
That was the main. Yeah.
That's the main. That's the main.
But there was but there was shenanigans after the match. There was about 5 minutes where Edwards calls out Josh because he wants. So the side story of this is not just about the title. Eddie Edwards is trying to get Josh Alexander into Honor No More.
Yeah, there's that whole thing. It's been kind of that's a weird one to me.
See, it is weird, and this is what I was thinking about while I was watching this tonight. Now, this is kind of going back to what you mentioned earlier, Bill, about the whole sometimes they tease a little Team Canada thing to come back, but then they don't actually do it. Here's the thing. What if Bound for Glory, now obviously with this stuff that happens at the end, we get a beatdown of Josh Alexander, a re-beatdown of Heath. Rich Swann comes in. He gets a beatdown for his troubles. And so, and they're just sitting with the title over Josh Alexander like, hey, you could have joined us. You could have seen our way. Obviously, you made your choice. You're going to, so you're going to sit with this now.
Now you must die.
No, yeah, exactly. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because Eddie's trying to show Josh that being a part of, pro Impact Wrestling is not a good thing. That they've done all these things that they've deceived Honor No More, time and time again. So here's what I think they're doing. I usually don't do this, but I can see this coming. This is like the little breadcrumbs leading up to Bound for Glory.
Okay.
If we get like a big, I said this during the live reaction, almost like a double turn. Like something happens with Josh, something happens with Eddie, and Josh goes overboard to the point where it's like ugly, and people and Honor No More all of a sudden, because the OGK is tag titles, a lot of people are really for this,
You're almost describing Brett and Austin in Mania when the double turn happened. It's a very similar situation where Brett went overboard and he got turned heel. And something like that. Or like Bobby Roode and James Storm kind of thing when they almost had a double turn. Like there's a double turn in a sense too. Like that was, yeah.
And it's whether Scott gets involved or not. There hasn't been any Scott involved in this at all. Scott's been busy doing other stuff across the board. But if something happens where Josh Alexander gets help from someone or a group or something, and then all of a sudden it looks ugly, he starts getting booed, and Honor No More becomes like the good guys at the end of this whole story. I could totally see this happening.
The way it really works is you play on the psychology of a character like that, where you do something where Josh has doubt created of the loyal in his mind about Impact Wrestling. Like Eddie's sitting there telling him they'll fuck you over, they're gonna turn on you, and something happens where you get that one shot of Josh on camera where like he kind of looks a little puzzled, like, wait a minute, like what happened there? Like they did fuck me on something. Like he gets, even though maybe he wasn't totally in the wrong, but they had to like fuck him on something to create that doubt in his mind. Like, wait a minute, did they really? And then you have Eddie capitalize on it by constantly, I told you. What happened last week? Huh? You were the good guy, and look, they disqualified you. What did I tell you about Impact Wrestling? That's what they would do to you. They did that to us. Join us. So then you keep planting these seeds over the next month of Josh, like thinking, man, what is that? And then if you are going to do a turn, the turn makes sense because you've shown that he's been having that doubt planted in him, and he's been sitting at home talking to Jade, talking to little Jet. Like, I can't believe they do this, little Jet. What the hell's going on? Why would Uncle Scott do this? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just 3, whatever. Like, so like, but that's if you are talking turning him, because Josh could be a good heel too. If you are talking turning him, that's how you do it. You know, you have to create a moment where he has his loyalty broken. And some show, it could be small too. It could be somewhere where Scott's like, "Hey man, rules are rules," and he's like, "Mike, those rules screwed me. What the hell?" He's like, "Oh, I gotta do it right." And now he's pissed. You know, like now he's the good guy, but he's getting taken advantage of. Right. Then you go with that. That's how it could work. I mean, that could be really interesting if it does go that way. I'd like to know from the chat, anybody watching, listening, sound off. Do you think Josh could potentially turn heel? Would you like to see him heel? Do you think he's a good heel? And would it work based on how you've seen the rise of the character? Could it work?
Yeah.
And he, you know, not.
Oh, yeah. They went deep in the garage.
Turned on me.
Trent, your underground is not helping your Wi-Fi. There you are.
Okay, I'm good. How's that? A little better?
Yeah, we can hear you, but now your picture is freezing up. I tell you what, why don't we let you go and you hop in? We'll catch you on an after show and we'll talk about this more.
All right, deal. Sounds good, guys.
Awesome. It'll be for patrons.
All right,
Patreon.
So, but yeah, that's the episode. Yeah, Eddie Edwards standing over Josh Alexander, trying to talk some sense into him. It'll be very interesting to see where this goes. This isn't just like a good versus evil. There's like a deeper story here, and I hope they do something with it because they could really turn this into something crazy, really flip some, you know, narratives around. Pardon the fun, but you know. So, and we'll see. You know, and I try not to overthink stuff like this because when you overthink stuff like this, and they just end up with a clean finish, and it's like, oh, well, nothing happened.
I thought it was going to be more interesting than that.
Right. But and I've done that a lot before, and then you turn into the fan. It's like, oh no, they fucked us. They fucked us again. You know, and it's like, I don't want to be that fan. So,
one thing I think that maybe plays into, maybe not necessarily exactly what Trent was talking about happening, but something happening to continue this out is eventually, I hope we get Sammy versus Eddie. I want to see that promo where Sammy comes after Eddie, because Eddie, I thought, gave us a very plausible reason for joining Honor No More in his original "Why Am I Doing This" promo. Sammy hasn't got to put a rebuttal out there, and if they do something that either gets the title to Eddie or gets Josh to join Honor No More, then that keeps the group together for longer. Let Sammy do it for however much longer that needs to take, and then eventually pivot to being Eddie's foil again. I trust that Impact could do something very interesting with a story like that, where the roles reversed, where the guy who was the face is now the heel, and the guy who was the heel is now the face, and they're very, very much polar opposites. Yeah. I hope we get that.
Well, there's a lot they can do with it, you know, and there's still people that think that Eddie Edwards is going to be the guy that destroys Honor No More from the inside out. You know, who knows? So, overall, what do you guys think of the show? Good show leading into Victory Road and Bound for Glory.
Yeah, no, I think it was definitely setting up still. Like we got a little more confirmation, but I think we'll see what happens next week. I think, like, obviously a lot's going to have to come together. Like Victory Road 2 weeks away, Bound for Glory 4 weeks away. So a lot of build that's going to have to happen, obviously, over the next couple weeks. We got a little bit, but not much tonight. So I don't want to see it all come together like the final week. So hopefully we get a lot next week, like at least 2 more matches confirmed.
Right, and I was thinking about this. I was like, wow, Victory Road and Bound for Glory are very close together. They're like, what, 2 weeks apart? Yeah, it's I don't really like that. I mean, I trust the brand, and they always put on good shows and great characters and great storytelling. But like, man, why did they have these shows so close together? But there's going to be different things as we can see already at Victory Road that has to do with Bound for Glory. Like, you're not going to have Josh's title involved in Victory Road. We already know what the main event of Victory Road is. So it's going to have a different feel. So, yeah. So, but yeah, good show tonight. Some great debuts. Some
surprises.
Some very interesting wins for Uemura and Aussie Open. Couldn't think of the names at first. So yeah, definitely threw us there a little bit, but it's all going to turn into some positive things for the tag division, X division, and such. And man, just everything's really. There's something happening everywhere in the company for everyone to like grab onto, whether it's tag stuff, X division, the knockouts are doing all sorts of different things, which is why it's still the best division on the planet as far as women goes. I don't care what you say. It's not 4 minutes in a pay-per-view. Hey, they're doing something. So, but yeah, good stuff.
Gotta say,
good job, Scott. Good job.
There you go. And so yeah, let's wrap her up and tell them guys where they can find you.
Truck, where can they find you?
Nowhere. Don't come to my house. What the hell's wrong with you?
No! No one traveled to a lord's estate.
Truck's busy tapping trees up in Canada trying to get syrup. No, what are you doing?
Come on. That's a stereotype, J-Bone.
Well, that's a positive stereotype. That's not a negative thing. The syrup that comes from Canada is the best. I've had it.
I have a bottle of it across yonder.
It's great stuff.
It's a big maple leaf.
I'm now. It's I had one of those too. Probably the same brand. So I'm expecting some from your truck. Because this is what you do now, right? No, maybe not. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll bring you guys care packages when Impact comes to Toronto.
There you go.
I'll bring everybody presents. We'll get an Airbnb. We'll have a huge house party.
Well, that would
completely out of control.
That would change what I normally do when I go to Toronto, Truck. Because I always stay at the same place in Toronto.
Where do you stay? On Yonge Street?
Is it on Yonge Street? It's up there. I stay at Fillmore's.
Okay.
Well, if you're not that familiar with Fillmore's, it's a hotel, but the bottom floor is a gentleman's club.
Ah. I thought I recognized the name.
Bill.
All right, then. So that's where you can find Bill at Fillmore's.
The first place I ever saw Explosion live on TV. It was playing there on Fight TV on Fight Network.
The exchange must be really good to you guys when you come up here. That'd be good. Go spend some American money in the Gentlemen's Club. You'll be real popular right away.
Hell yeah!
Still gets attention. That's what I'm saying here. Even with the ones, he still gets attention.
Come on! I had to get to my room. It was on the way.
I always walk in freshly waxed and wearing a white button-down shirt, and under the lights of the Gentlemen's Club, I walk in looking like one of those like bug attractors that's hanging from your garage. Man, they just flock. To, oh, he's glowing. Oh, he's got money. That's what happens. So what happens to the bone man. But anyways, Truck, where can I find you on social?
It is the cheapest, somewhat reputable hotel in the area. Not far
You
from
can
the
find
rebel.
me on Twitter at truck_rockback. There you go. I answered your question, James. I'm sorry. Dragon,
There you
right?
go. Bill, you're not making this better for yourself. Where can I find you?
Well, if not at CD hotels like Killer Kelly, but on the Twitter at William M. Gardner. J-Bone, where can they find you and all your professional podcasting opinions?
You can find me over in that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast. You can also find me on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. And you can find this podcast worldwide on audio at Apple iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, iHeart Radio, Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora, amongst many others. Just type in We Talk Impact and you'll find Team TNI and Team TNI UK. Make sure you give them some love. They got episode 100 coming up next week. I'm going to do my best to see if I can pop in there for a while. I'm very proud of them. They've come a long way. They've built a great little audience. And Bison's talking about some surprises. And I don't think there was kind of the same kind of surprises that I got while he was with me in Chicago. So I'm looking for something a little better. We'll see. We'll just tune in next week.
Do not go in there. Woo!
Damn, Bill. Okay. No, we love that crew. We do. I'm insanely proud of them. And but yeah, thank you for everyone for the bits and the chats and the super stickers. But if you do anything on your way out, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. If you are a Patreon member, we will be live soon following this review. We're going to see if we can get Trent out of his underground garage and live for some, I don't know, post-show shenanigans. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. We'll have some fun because we didn't do a dinner, so to speak. Look at it. There he is, Pasta Maniac, king himself. And that's just because this week was kind of rough. So to make up for that, we're going to do something after this, something I have no clue what. We'll find out. Some more horrible stories about my childhood or something. I don't know. We'll see. But that sounded really bad. I apologize. But anyways, we'll see you Patreon members soon. Thank you all for tuning in. Much love. Take care. Good night.